Okay. All right, let's start. Let's start breathing. Always a good place to start, and feeling ourselves in our body. Inhale, stretch out and up, open, 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 and then exhale, letting go, softening and melting. Inhale, arch chest up, and exhale, feeling the space around your body and opening up, radiating out into the space. And then coming back into yourself, grounding your energy on the exhale. So inhale, radiating outward, feeling yourself in your body. Exhale, feeling your feet on the floor, the ground beneath your feet. Inhale, open and lift. And exhale. Let's bend our knees and release our head all the way down. Relax your neck. If that's too much, just stay vertical. But if you feel okay about bigger movement, inhale, open, exhale, bend, soften, melt, let go. Inhale, open, reach it out and up. Exhale, all the way down, release. And one more inhale, lift and arch, and exhale. Take it down and just shift from side to side. Bend one knee, bend the other. Fluid spine, rippling from your tail to your head. Letting the hamstrings connect up into your sit bones, get some mobility, not necessarily your biggest stretch, but just some easy movement, weight shifting, and then come into center, roll it all the way up to the top. And let's take your hands on your knees. You're going to circle feet and ankles, move forward a little bit. So it seems like we're circling our knees, but in reality, most of that movement is coming through our ankles and our hips. And change direction, other way. Waking up the feet, letting yourself really move around the edges of your foot. And then coming in, opening a little wider. And let's start with a circle with your pelvis. And then go the other way. The scratching mat. And then you're going to do a figure eight one way, or circle on one side and circle on the other. Really feeling the relationship of your femur head up into that hip socket as you're circling. So it's like, as we're making this movement, we're greasing up that whole joint and strengthening up the top of the femur head, the top knob. And then if you can, change direction and go the other way, which might feel really weird. You can kind of go back and forth with that. And let your pelvic floor and the base muscles of your pelvis have some movement. Well, they're obviously moving, but thinking of that also kind of mobilizing your guts, reproductive organs, everything in there having some movement against itself. I went back just to circles because that's a lot easier. So thinking of, if you had a bowl of, if your pelvis was a bowl and you poured paint in it, you're trying to cover the whole surfaces, all the rounded surface inside your pelvis, just moving inside. And as you're like covering the inside of your pelvis with paint, that energy is also moving down your legs, feeling your feet connecting to the floor. And then we can go with a cat-cow. We're going to arch and open and exhale, hollow and curl. So external rotation, let's do it with the arms and legs, opening up, and then internal rotation, rounding your spine. Inhaling, opening and arching, exhale, curl and hollow. So we're using the arms and legs to get this internal and external rotation. And we are getting a little cat-cow in our spine, head-tail connection. One more. And release. So just before we started, I was talking to Christine about working out, and especially as we get older, we add some new thing and then we get a little bit injured and then it might set us back. So I'm always really inspired when I see people who are older and really moving and doing it. And also to know that, like, if you're going to move a lot, if you're going to be working out regularly, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be sore sometimes and sometimes have injuries and stuff like that. And you got to find ways to keep moving through that. So it's not like, oh, it's done. I knew I shouldn't work out. I hurt myself, but more like, oh, okay, now I just need to be more careful here. Maybe some other strength training over there or some stretching over here. Just learning what you need to do to maintain your body. But what I was going to say, coming down into your back onto the floor, is it really inspires me when I see older people working out and, creating a life that it really involves movement. And so there's this one woman, she's a Japanese woman, and I just saw this thread on on Instagram, and she's 91, and she trains people. She's a fitness instructor, but she didn't start working out until she was 65. So, that's just putting some perspective on it. Letting your legs rock from side to side, releasing your lower back, releasing and massaging through your hips. And I also really feel that if you're going to go harder with something like, oh, I'm going to do more weights, you got to make sure also that then maybe you're taking baths also, or getting more rest so your body has a chance to really assimilate what you're doing. Let's cross all the way over, big spiral. I also knew a dancer a long time ago who, this was like when I was in my 20s, and it was at Dance Space in the city when it was in the, I think it was 622 Broadway or something. And she and I took class together regularly, and then she had a back injury, and she ended up finding out she had herniated disc, and she's like, yep, I'm finished dancing. And I was like, oh, okay. So we have to, if I had an injury, I would usually find ways to heal myself and keep dancing. Roll it up through your spine, all the way up to the top, and then roll it back down. And it's another thing that we have to be really careful of when we start something new. Little small injuries may occur, but also we want to make sure that when we are injured, that we still are maintaining our strength in other ways. So we're not just like, oh, not going to do anything now until it's completely healed, because then you'll just be losing strength all the way. Although at the same time, you don't want to be necessarily completely working that muscle. And Christine, this lecture is not actually for you, because I know you're really taking care of yourself. It's for the other people out there in TV land. Rolling your spine all the way up. And let's just go with a rock back and forth. So feel your feet connected to the floor. Feel how your weight is connecting down. Are you rolling to the outer or inner edge? Pulling forward and backward, firing up your hamstrings and your quads a little bit. And then slowly soften and roll it down through your spine, all the way down to the floor. And let's walk the feet out just a little bit further. So maybe, so there's a little bit more of an angle. They're not right underneath you. And again, pulling forward and backward, hamstrings and quads. And let's try it with a flexed foot. And then tops of the feet back down, feeling how it changes the exercise, or bottoms of the feet back down. And again, flex one more time. And then feet back down, and slowly roll it down to the floor. And let's take the legs up into the air, give them a shake, let them come into neutral, and then happy baby pose, finding happiness in your happy baby pose. Yeah. So also in the pre-talk, I had my knee is doing much, much better. But in the process of some of the fixes that I have found for my knee, circles with your knees, I seem to have overstretched my quad a little bit, or worked it a little bit. So actually the other side, the quad is sore. Change direction. Again, lubricating up that hip socket, and just improving the integrity of that hip socket, right? If we all ate enough protein so that we have enough food in our bodies, I don't know, I'm going to make a really stupid statement, but did this circling exercise on a regular basis, I feel like there would be far fewer hip replacements. But it's also if our bones are kind of brittle, like we need to do weight bearing exercises, but we also want to mobilize those joints so that they have more integrity in different ranges of motion. So really three-dimensional integrity, side to side, dropping the knees one way and dropping them the other way, turning your head away from your legs. Spiraling. And again, if you want to make this harder, extend your legs longer. Using your arms and your back. Radiating out through the arms, wide and expansive. I also feel like in Western medicine, there's often the way to work with injuries or with issues is surgery and allopathic medicine. And there are so many other ways of working with our body. So just to, there are great physical therapists out there too. And so that's another thing. If you do have an injury, like I saw my chiropractor yesterday, who I've been seeing all along, who's been sort of monitoring my knee. So that helps, right? Was that yesterday? 2 days ago. All right, we're going to flex one foot, reach it out. You're going to lift it up. You're going to rotate it out and lower it back down. So into parallel, lengthen it up. Doesn't have to be your biggest kick. Rotate out and lower down to parallel. Up, rotate out, lower down, parallel. Up, reach it out, lower down, parallel. Up, rotate out, down, parallel. Up, out, down, parallel. Up, out, down, parallel. Last one. Up, out, down, and switch it to the other leg. Coming up, rotate out, down, turn it in. Up, out, down, in. And I can't decide. I don't think I actually injured my quad. I think the muscle is just sore. Up, out, down, in. But like when we work a muscle, part of the soreness is little micro tears. So if you work it too hard, those micro tears might be a little bit more than micro, right? So it could also be that those micro tears are just a little bit bigger than micro. Let's do 4 more of these. Out, down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out. I wasn't counting. This is our last one. And we're going to change it. So we're going to go back to the first leg and we're going to be turned out. So legs parallel, turn it out. We're going to come up, turned out, turn to parallel. Let's point and bring it down. Flex, rotate out, lift it up, parallel. We're just adding the foot. Point as if the foot is going up and down. Flex, turn it out, lift it up, parallel. Point, take it down. Flex, turn it out, lift it up, parallel. Point, take it down. Flex, rotate out, lift it up, parallel. Point, take it down. Flex, turn it out, lift it up, parallel. Point, take it down. Flex, rotate out, lift, parallel. Point, take it down. Flex, turn it out, up, parallel. Point, last one. Flex, turn it out, lift it up, parallel. Point, take it down. Switch it to the other side. Flex it, rotate out, lift, parallel. Point, lengthen down. Flex, turn it out, lift, parallel. Point, take it down. Flex, rotate out. Turn it in, point, take it down. Flex, rotate out. Kick, parallel, point, lower down, flex, turn it out, lift it up, parallel, point, lower down, flex, turn it out, up, parallel, point, lower down, flex, turn it out, kick, parallel, point, take it down. Last one, flex, rotate, lift into parallel point, take it down. So we had warmed up our hamstrings a little bit before we did those bot moths. It's great to have your muscles be a little warmer before you go for big ranges of motion. Now we're going to take them one leg in, one leg out, and we're going to do the outside circle. So it'll be 3 changes, going 1, 2, 3, and then flex your feet, circle out, change it to the other side, pointing 1, 2, 3, flex, rotate out, 1, 2, 3, flex and circle, 1, 2, 3, flex and circle, 1, 2, 3, flex, circle, 1, 2, 3, flex. If your head or neck is tired, drop it down to the ground. Last 1, 2, 3, circle it out. Yeah, so all of that circling movement is going to just increase the integrity of your hip socket, right? Let's internally rotate one leg at a time. So my feet are wide, internally rotating one leg at a time. I'm going to move through it a few times first. Yeah, so with the knee injury also, like it kind of kept shifting. And so, I mean, it wasn't like, oh, really targeted in one spot. And yeah, and I kept walking. Sometimes I couldn't walk very far. Like sometimes it was really bothering me, and then sometimes it was fine. So I had to really listen in. It's still not 100%. So I'm still being careful, but I am noticing that I can like do a lot of things without thinking about it. And then every once in a while, I'm like, oh, I should probably ice it. All right, let's stay down, hook an ankle across. So icing usually if I've done a lot, like if I went on a big hike or I did some extra stuff. And then the other side, but you gotta be careful with icing, not to get ice burn on your skin. So it's good to have something between your skin and the ice. Bring it in and pick up your butt, give it a shake. Got a little pea pot over here again. And let's do arms over your head, legs together, toes pointed, touching the floor. Deep breath in. On the exhale, coming up, pulsing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale down, exhale up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, exhale up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, exhale up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Deep breath. Exhale up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Fill up your lungs. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax for a second. Just turn your head from side to side. I want to go back to this exercise, but I want to take a 5 count inhale and a 5 count exhale. And so sometimes for people, it's hard to regulate. I think it's harder to regulate the inhale than the exhale in my case. So we're just trying to go for an equal, we're going to go back and do the exact same exercise, just shake out and release, but we're going to add 5 counts in one direction and 5 counts in the other. Got Squeaky Deaky lurking around now. Hello. Hello. All right, arms up over your head. Deep breath in. Coming up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slow inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Deep breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Right. So even when we change the breathing like that, so that we're consciously inhaling and exhaling, one, that even amount of inhale and exhale is coherent breathing, which means your body's going to balance out your systems a bit more. And the optimal rate speed for that, for most bodies, for your heart and your lungs, is about 5.5 seconds per inhale and exhale, which is close. I mean, we were probably going a little faster than that, but 6 counts, 5 counts is a good number to do for that. And if you spend some time with it, like there are apps you can get on your phone that'll help you, but you can do it by yourself, just counting your inhales for inhale for 5 or 6, exhale for 5 for 6, and do it for 5 minutes to 20 minutes. Like do it for a while so that your body can feel it, what is going on, and your body has the chance to get into that sort of optimal coherent state. Coherent means the whole orchestra is playing in harmony. Nobody's rushing off or messing up the notes, right? Everybody's coming into this coherence where your nervous system is operating in an optimal manner. Your breathing, your heartbeat, all the things working together. All right, onto your butt, spiraling one side and then the other, just massaging through your glutes. And the other thing, like about injuries, so I used to take ballet fairly regularly, early in my life, more than like every day, and then later on 2 to 3 times a week. So one thing like that I haven't been doing kind of since the pandemic, but also since I'm up here more than in the city, is doing ballet on a regular basis. And I'm also convinced that one reason I have that knee injury is from not having the strength of doing ballet regularly. There are things wrong with ballet, but there are also things right with it. Let's take both knees down and just spiral up, little arch. And I feel like as a movement system, as long as you stretch and you're not forcing your turnout, there are a lot of good things about ballet because it really is fairly evenly balanced between front, side, and back. And you're going to have very strong legs and you're really working your feet. So there are very few things where we get that kind of work through our legs that you get in ballet. All right, let's come back down to the mat, onto our sides. And we're going to do this, I think I learned it in gyrokinesis, sort of mermaid thing. Legs are straight down below you. One hand is in front. This hand is up over your head. You're in a long line in your body. You're going to inhale, lift up sideways, and then exhale, take it back down. Inhale up, exhale, lengthen down. Inhaling up and reach it out. You're going to try and get both feet off the floor, but it's probably not going to go up that high. Lengthen it down and come up and come down. Squeaky, up and down, and one more, up and down. And let's just switch ourselves around right away to the other side. You can just roll over, or you can do the more movement, big change. Coming up and lengthening it out. Bringing it up and lengthening it out. Up and out. Up and lengthen your side body. Up and down. 2 more. Up and down. And last one. Up and down. I'm not sure if the cat is coming through the earbuds, but he's a talker. Coming back to your first side, but he's like part Oriental Siamese, and those cats talk a lot. He's just generally chatting most of the time. And let's take it onto your side. Go into the Pilates pike so you're in a little bit of a fold in your hips. This arm can be on the floor. We're going to reach one leg back, the same top arm forward. So you're working forward and backward at the same time. Reaching it out. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. You can flex forward and point back. Filling up your lungs. And then stay in that reach. And let's draw it in and then radiate out. So bringing your elbow and knee towards each other and then away from each other. In and lengthen. In and lengthen. In and lengthen. In and reach. In and reach. And last one. In and reach. And circle in the back space. And then flex and change direction, reaching through your heel. And then grab onto your ankle or your foot and draw your heel towards your butt or kick it back. So stretching the front of your quad, breathing into it. You could combine that. So heel into butt and then kicking back, just feeling where you need the stretch. And also as you make these shifts, and you can also try turning in and turning out, you can feel sort of the differentiation of the layers in your body moving. And we want a lot of those layers to have like shear, to have glide. Good. And then release that. And let's do a big side stretch up. So grabbing inside your leg. If you internally rotate, you're not going to get as far. The leg probably will not come up as high. So turn it out. Bring it in. You can go behind it and grab if you want. Breathing. And I'm kind of moving my pelvis forward and backward, like almost like I'm tucking my tail and then letting it reach out, which just changes the stretch for me. And then coming in, and let's flip around to the other side. Just give everything a shake before you get there. Loosening everything up, loose and relaxed. And then taking it onto the other side, starting out in the little Pilates pike. One arm forward and the leg back, and then switching. So we're letting our body really move. Contralateral movement through your torso, organs mobilizing. We're not squishing them in and compacting them. You can flex forward, point back. Squeaky, come here. Squeaky. Use your breath. And then take it into the back space, coming towards yourself, and then reaching away, bringing it in and out, in and out, reaching, long body, nice spiraling movement. 3 more, 2, last one. And then you can circle in the back space, circling, reaching away, and then flex and change direction and release. Grab on, quad stretch, turn it in and out. Yeah, feeling what my leg feels like. I think it's just sore because I actually really used my quad in one of my knee recuperation exercises, my knee rehab. Good. Breathe, move a little bit. So you're moving a little bit in the stretch. Letting the biotensegrity of your whole system, the internal elasticity, have some movement so that the whole thing is getting a little bit of adjusting. And then release that, bringing it up to the side. And playing with movement there. It doesn't have to be where my leg is. It could be wherever your leg is, holding from the inside. You can just play with even moving in and out from the hip. It might be higher. Well, it's a beautiful sunny day here. It's a little on the chilly side, but it's gorgeous. Take it onto your back, open up into a straddle, grab on. In that straddle, let's circle the feet and ankles and change direction. Feeling your toes, right? Sometimes we circle the feet and ankles, but really let the toes get into it. Then we're gonna flex the knees and ankles, reach it long, and you're gonna come up, crisscross, and open. I'm gonna take my hands behind my head, flex knees and ankles, extended point, and beat, open, flex it in, reach it out, crisscross, open, flex, extend, beat, open, flex, reach it out, crisscross, open, flex, and reach, beat, open, flex, reach, crisscross, open, flex, reach, crisscross. Ideally, you're alternating which leg goes in front. Beat, open, flex, extend, beat, open, and release. Feet wide, just internally rotate both legs and take a little gentle heel rock. Well, it's not really a heel rock because well, kind of is. Just rock your spine, relax your guts, soften your body. Then you can bring it into parallel. Head, neck, softening and melting. Whole spine just easy and juicy. Hydrated, fluids moving easily inside your spine. Cerebrospinal fluid has nice, easy movement. Lots of rebound in your cushy marshmallowy discs supporting the spine. So they're kind of springy and reboundy, bouncy, trouncy. All right, and then let's roll back and forth, rounding through your spine, taking it into a plow if that feels good. If forward, backward doesn't feel good, go side, rolling from one side to the other. You can try coming up onto your legs if you want to. You can try coming all the way up. Yeah, my knee is way better. And my quad on the other side is definitely sore, but it's not a problem. All right, let's flip over onto hands and knees. So quadruped position. We'll do opposite arm to leg. Let's do this. We're gonna come up. It's gonna be a whole bunch of stuff. Well, not a whole bunch, just a couple of things. You're gonna reach out, bring it in, reach it out, take it to the diagonal, come in, and then lower down. Other side, out, in, out, find the diagonal, bring it in, come down. Out. If you need more padding under your knees, get it. Diagonal, long line, come down, out, in, out, diagonal, bring it back, come down, out, in, out, diagonal, bring it back, come down, out, in, out, diagonal, come back, bring it down, out, in, out, diagonal, come back, bring it down, out, in, out, diagonal, come back, bring it down. Open your hands wide, circles with your heart, down to the floor and then up. Head, neck, and jaw relaxed. And then the other way. And then let's take the elbows down to the floor and arch and curl, cat cow. And then we're going to change it. Let's come up onto our hands for this ripple. So you're going to think from the base of your spine, sending a wave, rippling up to your head. So it's like you start with just this little dip and then it ripples through your spine. It doesn't have to be big. Small ripple from the bottom to the top, or it can be big. But I feel like what's more important is just finding the wave movement, which is sometimes easier, smaller. So it's like inchworm body, moving, rippling, waving. And you want to let this be as sort of, not that you're engaging to make it happen. It's more like you're letting the water in your body move. So you're not, it shouldn't, I would say the hard work is getting the pattern and letting go enough to let the pattern play out. So don't think of it as like, I engage my abs, I engage my this, I engage my that. That thinking and that sort of mechanized muscle thinking isn't going to be the way to get there. It's finding the flow of the movement from joint to joint and really thinking of movement happening like a wave. And your guts and your belly, your abs and your back, they're going to work a little bit, but it's like it's just rippling through. It's not that you're not working. It's not that you're working hard muscularly. Have I said that clearly? I think I'm a little inarticulate today. Let's try from the head down to the tail. So it's going to be different. You start with your head, ripples through your arms, down to your tail. It doesn't have to be a huge movement through the head, but it might be easier. So you can ripple up, you can ripple down, you can free flow the ripples. Like getting this capacity for your whole torso to have this mobility, which is more fluid than muscular, is going to serve you a lot in releasing tension and holding patterns. And I just want to throw this out there. So cats have the capacity, and you've probably seen this, to really lengthen their spines or to kind of bunch up. And that's how they have that speed to spring, like they bunch up and then they explode out. But we also have a little bit of, here's my model right on cue. He maybe doesn't have the most springy back. He's my little chubber. But the white kitty, oh my God, he can be so long or he can be kind of small. So we do have a little bit of that same capacity, not to the degree that cats have it, but humans also have those cushy, springy marshmallows. And actually the way Leslie Kaminoff describes it was like, we have our vertebrae here and here, but in the middle is the disc. And what he says is that the energy in the disc is actually kind of pushing the vertebrae away from each other. So energetically, like there is this natural elongation. But when we play with that kind of movement of up and downness and like waving, we're letting those springs have more capacity, right? We're not just kind of locked into ourselves. We're giving ourselves this fluid movement, which I think is super, super healthy. And also sometimes we can't conceive of something until we've seen it, and we can't do it until we've spent some time with it, which is one reason why I actually teach the somatic inquiry classes, because it's like a different way of being in our bodies. And the same with this kind of rippling and waving. Like if we don't think of it as a bone muscle activity, it is kind of a bone muscle activity, but there's something else going on a different level, and that's really moving in a way that's maybe more fascia nervous system fluid than, you know, biomechanical. It's maybe more biomorphic. All right, let's come all the way down onto our stomachs on our mats with your cat pillow. It should bother him enough that I'm squeezing him. Yep, there we go. He's not going to go far though. Hands next to your chest. Baby cobra up, and then exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up, connect your hands, keep going, push your way through the ceiling. And then exhale down. You can try leading with your eyeballs, looking up, 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 up. and release it down. Use your breath. But once you get up there, you could stay up and have a couple of breaths. And then take it back into a child's pose. And release. And let's come onto our, what do we want to do? Let's come up and stand. Let's come up and stand and just do a little bit of balance work. So we're going to do two different ways of doing the same thing. So the first one, we're going to take one leg and just circle it underneath. So you're standing on one leg. If you need something to hold on to, feel free to grab a cat tower or a door or a wall, hold on. But if you can stay without holding on, that's great. And then change direction, circle the other way. Try not to get sort of off to the diagonal there. Think of really aligning on your standing leg. Woo! Good, and then change it to the other side. Other standing leg, circles outward first. Really tall on that standing leg. And then circles inward. Good, and then come in, just shake it out for a second, let it go. And we're gonna change it to, you're gonna circle your hips over your standing leg. So this leg's gonna come up off the floor and you're just gonna circle your hips on top of this leg that you're standing on. So you're mobilizing your torso over your leg. And then change direction, other way. The standing leg foot is doing a lot of work to help you balance. Good, and then come onto the other side. Other leg, circling your body on top of your standing leg. So I learned some version of this exercise from Irene Dowd, who's an anatomist and anatomy teacher in New York City. I think she's still teaching. Circle the other way. If I go through this and think really in a fluid way and let my body be kind of fluid, it's actually easier than if I think of muscles and bones. Good, and come in and shake it out, let it go. And let's do arms up over your head, reach out through the heels of your hands, feet fairly wide, just shifting from one side up and over to the other. Letting your head go off vertical. You can inhale up, exhale over to the side, or you can stay longer. Like if you get there and you're like, oh, I really need to do this, I really need to hang out here, then do it. Listen to your own body. Let that go. Circles with your shoulders, just easy circles, forward, up, back, down. Scapula mobilizing on your back. And then the other direction, up and over. We're going to do something from a seated position. So I'm actually just going to sit on a ball because that's the easiest thing to bring in here. You can sit on a chair, the couch, anything. And this is really just to release the upper traps and neck. So, and also I just saw Cassie doing something like it in her screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this with the theta breath. Theta breath is a soft hiss. And what we're going to do is just let the head go forward on the exhale. I'll show you once. When you run out of air or where you feel like you want to inhale again, just pause and inhale and then get going again on the exhale. And so the idea isn't, okay, we're going to roll all the way down, we're going to roll all the way up. It's more that we're going to release the tissue in our neck and upper traps a little bit. So it's almost like you're going up and over something. But then you're just softening, 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 softening. Take a breath, soften, soften, soften. Whenever you're ready, bring it back up the same way. So you'll hiss your way up and then take it back down. So you'll just pause whenever you inhale. On the exhale, you're doing the soft hiss, and it could take a long time or it could be really fast. Just feeling your back, your head weight dropping forward, letting your upper traps release. However fast you want to do it, challenge yourself to go slower. The tissue will have more chance to expand and open and hydrate if we go slow. Only go as far as you want, as far as feels good. Really slow with lots of awareness. Maybe 2 or 3 times going forward and backward, or depending on your speed, it may be one time, or maybe you're doing it 6 or 7 times. Tune into your own tempo. Try and slow it down a bit if you can. I'm going to do it one more time. So for me, in my body, what tends to be tight is up here, my neck and shoulders. Like the rest of my back, not so much. You may have a different location where you're tight, so you may want to go further or not as much. Listen into your body, and try and feel into it as opposed to conceptualizing what you think should happen. Go in with what you feel, what you're noticing in sensation. Yeah, and when you're ready, if you make it back up to the top, um, just head from side to side. Neck and shoulders really relaxed. Eyes resting in your head, letting vision come to you, not reaching out to see, but allowing it to come into you. Visual field entering through the eyeballs, or you can close your eyes. Jaw and neck very relaxed. And then bringing that in and just floating your rib cage over your guts. So, like the jellyfish of your diaphragm, squishing around on top of your organs, giving yourself some freedom in your torso. And your head can do whatever it wants, looking this way, looking that way. Change direction, letting your guts and organs really have some mobility. Lots of breath. Good. And then we'll come in and we'll just inhale, open lungs. And we'll do this in a 6 count. So we're going to do, we're going to 6 count up and 6 count down with an inhale going up, and then we'll shift it. So inhaling, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep your arms down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's take the arms up the front. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep your arms up. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let it go. Just shake it out. I'm on a ball, so I can bounce around. You guys can shake it out. Let it release. Let's come back up to standing, and you're going to just do a forward fold back to where we started, with the shifting your weight from side to side, letting your head and neck totally release, dropping down, feeling what your body feels like now compared to when we started. Letting your shoulder blades have some mobility here. Rib cage, pelvis, head, a little bit of relationship and yet differentiation. So coming all the way up, and we'll just end it with one big, huge breath. Hands coming together down in prayer, just bringing yourself in. Again, like that. Inhale. Open, hands together, connected through midline. And one more like that. Alrighty. Thank you, everybody in TV land who shows up now or in the future. Whatever happens is what happens.